Welcome inside the Lemarant Center, where it is buzzing tonight. We're celebrating the sophomores as Daytona State College and the volleyball team continues their journey here in 2021. They host the Santa Fe State College Saints. Absolutely thrilled you could join us, everybody. I'm Drew Felios, courtside here with former UCF outside hitter Aaron Campbell. And Aaron, Daytona State continues to get better. We saw them here about 3 weeks ago. And a task on hand tonight. They definitely want to shine in front of the cameras here on their home court.
Yeah, and they get better because they get their setter back, Sarah Zimmerman. So that's going to be another offensive option. Now, they still might run that 6-2, but there's a lot of offense that's going to happen from this team. But the Saints are going to be scrappy, and they're going to give them all that they can, especially on defense.
Yeah, there you take a look at Zimmerman. You mentioned Santa Fe, a very young team. Nothing to lose here tonight. Only 3 victories on the season. Santa Fe Saints, 3-13 is their record. Take a look at their players. Emily Luce, number 5. Everything will run through her. And Nicole DePaula offensively is going to have a huge night.
Yeah, super young team, so this is going to be a lot of learning opportunities, but we will see the ball go to DePaula a lot, and we'll also see Emily Luce and Abby James get a lot of the balls as well.
See lots of freshmen on that roster. All but one, just a sophomore. And then Nick Chironis, the head coach. One thing we know, this team's going to be well coached.
Yeah, and he has such a reputation, worked obviously with Mary Wise for a long time at the University of Florida, and has taken all of that volleyball IQ and that tenacity into the Santa Fe volleyball team. And his score, the record doesn't indicate where this team's going. Young team, but under his helm will have a lot of progress.
Daytona State, meanwhile, they come in double digits in wins, a 10-5 record. Last time we were here, number 9, Alina Carrillo went off. She's having a great season. Same with 15, Svea Frobel.
Yeah, this whole team, anytime you kind of put the ball in one of their players' hands, you're going to have a lot of offensive production. There's a lot of spreading of the offense as well. We're going to get that right side activated, but keep in mind that with that 6-2, not only does that allow more offensive options, but there could be some blocking strategy that gets implemented there.
Head coach Laura Booker Anderson, tell you what, Aaron, she is just having fun coaching these ladies.
Fun and focused. I mean, absolutely has the eye on the prize of the state and national tournament, but it's one game at a time, little bites that she takes away. And this team, the last time I saw them was at Eastern Florida. They came back 2 sets, down 2 sets to win the last 3. This team is dialed in and ready to go.
Well, before we start our match, I want to tell you about our proud sponsor, Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics, and they are the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Program. Daytona State in the white and blue, Santa Fe in the light blue and the navy. And we are set to go here from the Lemarant Center. Sit back, enjoy. Caitlyn Kelso will serve it for the Saints. Santa Fe has come up on the short end their last 10 matches. Coach Chironis knows it is going to be a tall task to come in here and just compete against Daytona State.
But young, so young. Like, you cannot take that away. They're playing, Florida has most of the nationally recognized programs in the state, right? So you're playing really tough competition with really young players. There is no better learning ground for young players than playing really good competition, including teams like Daytona State, who have a lot of opportunity to be a perennial power or huge contender in that national tournament.
Coach Booker Anderson, with her 3rd child on the way, doing a great job managing it, especially without any assistant coaches. The job that she has done, getting all these young ladies to buy in, to play together, it has been something to behold. Santa Fe in the past week, a loss at State College of Florida, then a loss at Miami-Dade. That was last Saturday, and then a couple nights ago at Polk State, they came up short 3-1, but did compete well in that match. A little bit of a delay here before starting as we get set for first serve. Daytona State extremely balanced across the board. Every player contributes. Players come off the bench. Now take a look at our referees here tonight for this contest, as the Falcons will compete for their 11th victory of the season. And this is the second time that these two teams have faced off with each other. They played back on September 18th. Daytona State won 3-1 on that night in Gainesville.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are glad you are here. It is time. We begin the first set with Santa Fe serving.
So let's play. Caitlyn Kelso to serve it up for Santa Fe. Underway here in Daytona. Good hands that time by Saracel, and Carrillo, her first kill attempt. Left side now. Nice dig. Simone Jackson got on the ground. It'll be a point for the Saints.
And Daytona State has elected to run that 6-2 option. So they're offensive focus tonight. Saracel and you have Zimmerman going to be running that offense. Jordan Danielson in the net in the last play. But that's a very smart offensive option. It's all about the offense for the Falcons today.
Little tap, kept alive. That's the kind of effort Santa Fe is going to need here tonight, Aaron. That's a little bit long.
And another in the net play. I mean, this is very uncharacteristic. A lot of scrambling, a lot of unforced errors for the Falcons. But again, you know, you see that kind of happening earlier in the matches, in the sets. Luckily, it's only the first 2 points.
Now remember, Daytona State, a slow starting team this year. Saracel, right side, Carrillo, nicely done.
Alina Carrillo with the kill.
I mentioned we're gonna celebrate the sophomores here tonight, Aaron. Carrillo, they're a freshman, but Coach Booker Anderson said, we're gonna do that after the match. let our players concentrate on the task at hand.
Well, and then it becomes a celebration. And another play in the net. So that is the third net violation, second of Jordan Danielson. And it's that trouble you get into with that swing block. If you're not tracking where your body is in relation to that net, when you pull those arms back and you try to come back up, you swipe the net a lot of times. Or if you're too close to the net because your feet haven't set you up, when you bring those arms down, you're going to pull that net right with it.
Kept alive by the Saints. Now Frobel. Santa Fe trying to make an early statement here in Daytona. They have come to play. Nothing dropping right now. And Nicole DePaula, first time we've called her name, the freshman outside hitter out of Boca Raton with her first point.
In for the Falcons, number 13, Janice.
How about an early 4-1 lead here to start? And an ace serve. So for Santa Fe, this match could not have started better.
Yeah, this is idyllic if you are a team that wants to come in and make a statement, especially with young players. Now, what we have seen from Daytona though, is that they don't get rattled easily. But certainly, if you are the Saints, this is the exact situation you want to be in. Another missed pass.
Now from the back row, Carrillo. Saints working that left side, DePaula. And now back row, Carrillo again. Boy, she has got an absolute whip on her.
And utilizing her out of the back row, you know, as this Falcons defense or this offense really starts to get in its groove, they don't want to have to rely on that third option from the middle back, but in out-of-system plays, it is such a good option, even with the disciplined Saints team and Saints defense.
Serve into the net. Side out back to the Saints. And a substitution here. Melanie Oglesby, the freshman out of Wakulla, enters. As now Emily Luce, the freshman setter out of Keystone Heights, back to serve. That one is wide. And Aaron, Coach Chironis said, I think we can play with Daytona State for at least a set. The question is, can we do it deep into the match. Can we be consistent?
And if they serve the way that they're serving right now, and Daytona State continues to pass the way that they are, then that can be more than one set. I mean, they're one option offense right now because the pass and dig location.
That is good. Caitlyn Croft, the freshman middle, out of Gainesville with the point, and it's 8-2. So a slow start for Daytona State. And the fans here at home trying to inject some life into the Falcons.
It all starts with the pass. You just have to settle that pass down. Let Zarazell run that offense the way that she wants.
Service error, point Daytona State.
Couple subs now coming in for the Falcons. Laura de Chavarria Munoz checks in, number 8. She has really found a spot into the rotation, and Zimmerman checks in as well. But there is Laura out of Spain, played some volleyball too at Montfort Academy.
And didn't blow the whistle. That's how excited you get sometimes. But it's interesting because the Falcons aren't running a 6-2 with 2 setters. They're running a 5-1 with 2 setters. So Zimmerman is now treated more as a offensive option and a blocker than she is a setter.
Go back to DePaula. Nicely done by Jackson, keeping it off the deck. This is Frobel. Svea Frobel with the kill.
And if the Falcons want to get this offense going, they have to leverage Frobel more. They obviously default to Carrillo, but they want to get Frobel activated early and often. Opens up those opportunities for the middles like Sarah Stratton to come in and make good plays.
That serve is wide, and a side out back to Santa Fe. Aaron, just curious, on a serve like that where you have a big jump server, do you kind of pick your spots? Does the coach say, hey, really try and deliver it hard, or just try and get it over where it's supposed to be? Be conservative with it.
It depends. It really depends on what the passing scheme is and who's back there. So if you know that they have a team of good passers, you go heavy. If you know that there's a weaker passer, then you want to go after zone rather than power.
Frobel starting to heat up for the Falcons. Svea, the sophomore out of Germany, one of the 6 sophomores honored tonight after the match. It's going to be an emotional ceremony immediately following this great game. Drew Felios, Aaron Campbell, and our phenomenal crew here at Daytona State bringing you Falcons volleyball. And Santa Fe has come to play here tonight.
And so far, Melanie Oglesby has really done an awesome job quarterbacking the offense for the Saints. Just, you haven't seen two of the same plays. All these plays are wreaking havoc on the defense, and what a serve from DePaula.
That ball found a spot in the far corner, and a timeout called by Coach Booker Anderson. Santa Fe leads 11-5 here just underway at Daytona State. This is what you call the perfect serve.
And it's just, I mean, you can't write this serve up better. Goes right over the libero's heads because of where she is in relation to the court. Simone Jackson thinks that ball is out, but it just drops right in front of the line judge. Easy call for the line judge, not so easy call for Simone Jackson.
So Santa Fe very relaxed coming in. Again, only one sophomore on this team. I mean, obviously at this level, you're always going to have young teams, but when you have 90+% of the roster all freshmen, and dealing with what they've had to deal with the past year. Remember, in the spring, a lot of these ladies, none of them were really on campus, so Coach Tirona said just the maturation process with this particular group has been a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think anytime that you're dealing with the adversity of all the stuff that happened off the court, but then also dealing with young players, like volleyball coming from any club environment to any collegiate environment, the tempo is like 20 times. So trying to get comfortable in a system, trying to get comfortable in Coach Tirona's system and what his belief system is all of that compounding is really tough. But he's always got that long game. He's always got the eye on the long game. He wants to develop the program and not just the team.
DePaula's serve goes long this time. And a side out for Daytona State. So a good timeout by Coach Booker Anderson. And also Riley Wyatt, the defensive specialist out of Fort Pierce, will check in. defensive specialist role this year, but also a pretty good swing on her as well. Kept off the deck. Munoz got a touch, and this is Callie Connor. Left side, that's where the Falcons want it.
And because Zimmerman's in the front row, the offense almost, or the defense kind of dove in, expecting that second contact with that jump set. So really opened up a wide court for Carrillo to take a swing.
So Daytona State, a couple points now, starting to get back into this match. Go right in the middle that time. And there's a kill. So Callie Connor, the freshman out of Tifton, Georgia, with the point.
And what we saw from Connor in that warm-up is she's a natural line swinger. So every time that she goes up and swings the ball, her arm swing and her mechanics kind of force her to swing down the line. But she's been able to maneuver that technique to swing seam if she needs to. But line's a tough place to defend, so it's a good attack to have.
Munoz into the wall and into our microphone there too on the far side. But how about Jenna Zimmerman coming up big?
And just out, so point goes to the Saints. That was close. That was a close call.
And credit the hustle of Laura de Chavarria Munoz, the freshman. Zimmerman now wants Carrillo again. Daytona State's won 4 out of the last 5 points there, and they're starting to pick it up.
And 4 kills so far for Carrillo. So again, they're going to rely a lot on her to get those points in those big rallies. And she's one to deliver. You know, she's kind of like the gravedigger. She's always making those kills.
Interesting analogy there. Sarah Zell now serving for the Falcons. Kept alive by Jackson. The ceiling plays tricks with that ball. And of course, when you're in a facility like this, the ceiling, it is part of the court, right?
Absolutely. And even though it's home court, it's like ping pong up there. You know, you never know where that ball's going to come out, how to read it. The lights can have a huge effect on where you read that ball coming from those rafters. So it's just a really tough play to make.
Beautiful facility here at the Lemoran Center. So much fun being a part of this program over the years. And there it is again. Once again, the ceiling playing tricks. And that time to Daytona State's benefit.
Absolutely. And that ball was hit so hard by Carrillo, the defender, number 1, McCollum. She got under it, but there's so much power. You've got to be able to kind of pull that power out.
So 14-9. Falcons within 5. Good first set here in Daytona. Set it up, and Svea Frobel will do the rest.
And Connor was right there, just didn't expect that ball was going to get cut so sharp cross court. So great play by Frobel, getting the kill down the sharp cross court.
Carrillo now to serve again. 14-10. Falcons inching closer. But there's a key point. Caitlyn Croft's the middle blocker. 6'1" out of Gainesville.
And Caitlyn Croft's, they want her to get activated. They're running ones. They're kind of forcing the ball to her in system and out of system, which I like to see. There's that, you know, that there's that chemistry between her and the setter. And so far she's been able to produce only 2 kills, but those 2 kills have come in handy.
That ball just a little bit long. Daytona State getting ready to take on State College of Florida coming up this Tuesday in Sarasota, but this one they had circled on the calendar. Sarah Stratton checking back in as Jackson will serve it again. Uphill battle for the Falcons here in set 1. A little bit of a slow start trying to shake it off. Frobel. Once again, Svea just brimming right now with confidence.
And really didn't have the swing or approach she wanted, but recognized that, you know, she's off balance. She's out of system. I have to put this ball in a place where the defense is going to have to make a big play. It's a little bit far behind her. She's hitting on the way down. It's a good spot for a kill.
Service error. Side out back to Santa Fe. And Melanie Oglesby, the freshman setter out of Wakulla, comes in for the Saints. Hard to believe Santa Fe with only 3 victories in 16 games. This team looks a lot better than that here in this first set. There's Frobel again. She is really starting to heat up.
She liked that one, and I think we did too. That was pretty heavy when she saw on that ball, falling away from it. Didn't even have 100% power, but still was able to slam that ball into the seam. Blocks there, just a little bit late. Good matchup for her. She does have the smaller setter at 5'8" in front of her. Exactly what you want if you're Laura Booker Anderson.
Svea out of Germany. So many options after this year. It's going to be interesting to follow her career from here. Oh, there's another beautiful slide. Caitlyn Croft again puts it away.
And I just love the eagerness of Crofts. Like even if it's not a play that's designed for her, she's still calling the ball. Out of system in the middle, she's running a C. She's kind of that utility player that you can really run anything with. Unfortunately, does miss her serve. But, you know, she's one of those players that you can really give her anything and she's going to make something work from it.
14 serving 17 now. So this game inching closer. Remember, played at 25 here at the collegiate level. Right side to Paulo. And DePaulo's played well here in this first set. Averages just under 2 kills per set. Santa Fe trying to keep that separation here as we approach the 20th point. There's Carrillo. Again, off balance. Don't get a good swing at it. Falcons will with Frobel, back row. Had to take a little off. And now a nice hit by Callie Connor once again, and the balanced attack continues for the Saints.
And right now for Daytona, everything's going to the outside. So they have to pull Sarah Stratton into this mix a little bit more to kind of balance the spreading of the offense that the Saints have had.
DePaula hits it wide again. And it'll be 15-19 here with the Falcons serving. So Wyatt comes in. There's Coach Booker Anderson. Says the focus is effort and attitude. If we take care of those things, our team is going to be okay night in and night out. They've got their hands full here thus far. And there's another point. Can they catch Santa Fe here in this first set?
Right now, with everything that Santa Fe has put on the offense, it's tough to say. The first mishit or miscommunication we've seen from Oglesby in this match so far.
Saints back to work. Up against the net, not much you can do there. So well played by the Saints, and there is the 20th point. Substitutions continue as Amelia McCallum checks in for the Saints. Amelia McCallum out of Alachua, Florida, and there's an ace. So good substitution by Chironis, and it's 21-16.
And if you want to slow down somebody's offense, you serve like you've never served before. Just go after the play, serve tough, serve those seams, and so far, the pass hasn't been able to respond to this really aggressive serving match. Yeah, you have 6 service errors, but 3 service aces, and then how many out-of-system plays? Like, if you're Coach Chironis, those are acceptable metrics, even though they don't look good. Those are acceptable because you know you force the team to be out of system. A good offensive team to be out of system.
So the gamble paying off here early. And still a 4-point lead. Make it 5. A kill by Elizabeth Klein. And right now, again, it's tough to really target one player on the other side because everybody contributing.
Yeah, 4 players have at least 1 kill for the Saints, and only 2 players have kills for Daytona State. So there has to be that spread, but it all starts with the pass. You're making your team one-dimensional because of that.
Back row Frobel is wide. Timeout. Once again, Laura Booker Anderson, her second timeout here in the first set. And Daytona State going to have to regroup here on the brink of conceding this first set. Laura, is that, Aaron, a good timeout at the end of the first set, or do you kind of just let it play out and then talk to your team after the first set? Just curious, the coaching strategy.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to call a timeout when you feel like the match is getting away from you,
Sure.
whether it's at 24, 21, 23, whatever that point differential is, because you want to pull the team away from it, kind of give them a refresher. Volleyball is so fast that if you don't have that short-term memory, sometimes you're, at this point too, all these points and errors are compounding. So kind of letting them take a step back, take a breath, settle in. This set is certainly not over. We have seen crazier things happen. So it's all about just trying to get your team refocused on what the game plan and scouting report says.
Yeah, Coach Laura said that the serve received the big key tonight. Also wanted to serve well to Santa Fe, make them predictable and be as scrappy as can be defensively.
And it seems like it's a reverse game plan. That's
Yeah.
exactly the game plan that the Saints have come in with and have been able to execute so far in this first set.
Nicole DePaula, the freshman out of Boca Raton, a good first set. And what a start for the Saints. Here's Carrillo, and that is down.
6 so far for Carrillo. Had a few miss hits, had a few that hit the block, then she just goes over the block, goes back to serve, great kill.
Let's see how long the Falcons can extend here. Oh, the service error is going to make it set point. So Callie Connor will serve to take this first set.
Oh, good serve.
Put over by the Falcons. Frobel again into the net. And Santa Fe with an early statement here in Daytona. They take set number 1, 25-18. And the Falcons certainly have got some work to do. So when we come back, set number 2, Daytona State Volleyball here on a Thursday night at home here in Daytona. We'll be right back.
And this year has been overwhelming for most of our community. The struggle to take care of yourself and your family. The uncertainty. At Halifax Health, our doors are always open, and we're here to make you feel safe again. We're here so you don't have to hide from your health. We're here to take care of you. Halifax Health. Live your life well.
Welcome back inside the Lemarant Center. Drew Felios, Aaron Campbell here courtside as the Santa Fe Saints come out and send a message after the first set. This is a team, again, only 3 victories on the season. The resume of Daytona State looks a lot more impressive coming into this match, but so far it's been all Saints.
Yeah, but you know that a team, a lot of the times when they have a record of 3-12, it's not a direct indication of the quality or the ability of the team. It could just be things don't go your way. But what we've seen so far for the Saints is like we talked about, they've executed the game plan that Sarah Booker Anderson wanted. They've served tough. They've served pretty consistently, forced the team out of system, and made Daytona State, who has a very robust offense, into a 2-option team, which is just unheard of.
Daytona State had a big win over Hillsborough Community College Tuesday. Also beat State College of Florida. And Coach Laura Booker Anderson trying to send a message here, wake up her team just a bit. Again, remember, sophomores celebrated here tonight, so it's going to be a very emotional night. You see the pictures of all the sophomores on the board here inside the Lemarant Center, and what a group they have been when you talk about Simone Jackson and Jenna Zimmerman, Caitlin Thompson, Sarah Stratton, Victoria Zarazell, Savea Frobel as well. And not only have they played hard, Aaron, they have all dealt with the toughest time in college athletics ever, dealing with COVID.
Absolutely, and this team has been so resilient. We know Sarah Stratton's going to VCU next year, but she will not be the only one going on to play continue in their volleyball career at the next level. This team has done so many good things. They've also faced the adversity of having a different coach and a different coaching program and all of that's been thrown at them. And so it's great to see that they've had such a sound record of 10-5. Dropping that first set is probably not an indication of where this match is going to go, because we know that the Falcons start slow. So they're going to come back in the second set, and I think they're going to have a fire in their bellies.
Caitlyn Croft's a good first set. We told you Nick Geronis knows his volleyball. He said that this team has dealt with adversity more than any he has ever coached. Throw in the fact they're as young as they are, and that's why they've had challenges being consistent. But so far, so good here in Daytona. Alina Carrillo to lead things off for the Falcons. And Carrillo starts it off with an ace. Good start for Daytona State.
And that's the kind of energy that you can feed off of when you've just lost that first set. You want to have that momentum in your favor coming off of a loss.
Just sense, too, the fans starting to pick it up here inside. They realize their team needs a boost. Saracel, right side, nicely done. Jordan Danielson, first time she's really exerted herself offensively.
Yeah, and again, if the Falcons want to come back in this set, they have to have offensive options. It has to be spread. You cannot be a two-pronged team. And I love that we've started this set with Jordan Danielson getting that attack.
Right, front row. This one just a little bit long. And now 3-0 out of the gates. So Alina Carrillo serving, has the magic touch here early. Remember, she's from the Top Select Volleyball Club, so well respected. Had 21 kills recently in a match. There's the first point for the Saints here in set 2.
Callie Connor catching that defense, on their heels. Saracel wants to make that break to run that set, but she has to be able to play defense first in order to effectively do that. You don't want to give away easy kills to a hitter like Callie Connor.
Falcons attacking now, and is that an illegal touch?
Yeah, double contact. Came out of Zarazel's hand, like right hand touched it, then left hand pushed it. You can see that ball spin, so good call by the officials.
First set went to Santa Fe. Daytona State trying to even things up here at home. Blocked right in that front row, and that's a good job by DePaula. She teamed up with Caitlyn Croft, and we're tied at 3.
And when you're blocking well, you're owning the net, and you're serving tough, you're a tough team to beat. Then you add in the 1, 2, 3, 4 different offensive options that you have right now. That's a pretty good game plan. That's a tough team to beat.
Oh, tap back, Danielson able to get it over. Now from the back row, Connor came up and took a swing. Here's Frobel. Good defense by Santa Fe. Daytona State keeping it alive as well. Danielson again. That's a point.
And good defensive play by the Falcons. Zarazel running all over the court, taking that first contact. Wasn't going to get caught in the wrong defensive position again. Good set to Jordan Danielson to kill that point.
Simone Jackson serving, the sophomore out of Oviedo. Tapped over, Frobel, a good job recovering. Now Savea. Oh, that was hit, and that'll be a point for the Falcons. It also got a piece of our official.
Cat-like reflexes from the line judge. Calling the play as she gets hit with the ball. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I always wonder, that's got to be a little bit of a dangerous job.
Gosh,
you got
it's
some
so
balls
scary.
whizzing at you, right?
It's so scary. I was the worst line judge because I hated being over there.
Ace serve by Simone Jackson. And the Falcons starting to find their groove. Simone Jackson, remember, she backed up Essence Bell last year, who is now at Howard University. She just gets along with everybody on the court. And that libero role for Daytona State. 6-3, Falcons. Jackson comes up, keeps it alive. Zarazel now back row, Carrillo just off balance into the net.
And so far, the blocking slowdowns or the blocking system for the Falcons has really paid off. They're now blocking, double blocking Crofts, getting those slowdowns, converting those into free ball opportunities. You certainly want to kill those points, but we're kind of seeing a transition from offense to defense with this team.
Falcons a little slow reacting that time. And the serving has been, even with the service errors, as you said, Aaron, they are putting it in some really tough spots.
Yeah, I mean, they're compounding, so they're putting it where all the people are going to be transitioning. It's all part of that Chironis IQ, like game plan. Oh.
Frobel tried to put it away. A little collision there on the Saint side, and now Spea takes another shot at it. We're seeing some high-level volleyball right now into the net, though, as DePaula can't elevate. And another point for the Falcons.
And just dropped that left shoulder. The ball was a little bit high, didn't have the approach she wanted, dropped the left shoulder, forced that arm swing to change, hits it right into the net. Keep an eye on her transition. Left shoulder drop, even lands weird on that left leg because of that off balance. But she'll bounce right back. Another opportunity for her right here.
DePaula.
Great shot.
Able to even it out there. Nicole DePaula. Out of Boca Raton.
And unofficially, 5th kill for DePaula on the night. And what we saw from her in warm-ups is she does like that ball to be a little bit tighter. That way she can really use that approach, use that momentum to get up in the air and make a big kill.
DePaula slides over, tries to get the block, but Sarah Stratton runs that slide to perfection.
And Sarah Stratton, happy to see her back in the game, was taken out when they played Eastern Florida State College with a rolled ankle, was able to respond. Obviously, that leg is in a brace, or that ankle is in a brace, but wow, hasn't lost a step when it comes to power.
Sent over now, Jackson able to dig it out. De Chavarria Munoz with the touch for Daytona State. DePaula once more up against that block. Trying to get it to Nicole one more time. Frobel calling for it. A little bit long. Aaron, you had a chance, though, to witness that game, Daytona State and Eastern Florida, and I hear it was a classic.
It was unbelievable. Eastern Florida came out hot, 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 took the first 2 sets, and then Daytona State came back and won the last 3, like with the foot on the neck, with the stamp. I mean, it was incredible. It was probably one of the best volleyball matches I've seen in a long time.
Such a great rivalry, Daytona State and Eastern Florida. Falcons unable to get it over, and Santa Fe hanging around here in set number 2. You keep waiting for that Falcon explosion to happen, and it just has not happened yet.
Good serve.
Here's Carrillo. It's down, 9-8.
And this is certainly a rotation. If you're the Saints, you want a first ball kill. You do not want to give the Falcons opportunities to get Carrillo the ball because she's hitting at an extremely high efficiency. Only 2 errors, so far 7 kills, but has done an amazing job on offense overall to score points.
Watt keeps it alive. Riley Wyatt, back row, and now Carrillo again. Good dig by Kelso. And there's number 9, Connor, again factoring in for Santa Fe. Frobel, that one's out. 2 straight now for Daytona State.
And it's these tiny chunks and runs of points that the Saints did so well in the first set that the Falcons then have to respond to. They have to be able to string 2, 3, 4 points in a row to kind of make that separation happen.
Can sense the momentum shifting. Nick Chironis calls the timeout for Santa Fe. As you look at Daytona State, this team, and Coach Laura Booker Anderson, so proud of the ladies, and Coach should be proud of herself. 9 months pregnant, 3rd child on the way. I asked her about that, the balance, the family life, and I also asked her, Aaron, do you have dreams of coaching at the highest level one day? She says, Drew, I'm good. I've got my family, I've got my kids, I've got a great program here and an institution here at Daytona State. What more can you ask for?
Yeah.
I thought that's powerful.
Absolutely. And you see that investment in her and everything she's doing, from recruiting, from player development. I mean, it really is a program. And I know that Nick Chironis, that's his goal too. He's obviously built that with Santa Fe. Hasn't been able to have the same level of success in this year specifically, but there's still so much good volleyball in the junior college arena, and it's incredible that we get to witness it and be a part of it.
Now, Coach Chironis talked about that life at the University of Florida, all the travel, of course, all the recruiting you have to do, and Coach Booker Anderson said just the family balance so difficult. People don't think about that when you think about advancing your career.
Oh gosh, yeah, and it's so much. And the state of athletics, you're just taking the next better job, and that can be from Alabama to California, that can be from New York to Texas. You have to be able to be mobile.
Daytona State starting to put it together. And there's Riley Wyatt, who has been on a roll serving. Largest lead of this match for Daytona State thus far, 11-8. This one's long. Daytona State starting to really make Santa Fe work. Things just not coming quite as easy. Confidence of Wyatt continues to grow out of Fort Pierce Central High School. Sent over by Callie Connor, a net violation called on Daytona State. I think they got, let's see, was it number 2, I believe, in the net? Zimmerman.
And so far, what the Falcons have done such a better job of in this second set is slowing down any offensive attacks from the Saints. They're double blocking, triple blocking that middle so that there aren't as many options. There isn't so much free court to swing on. And so far, the defense has been able to rally around that and make good plays.
Back row Frobel. She teed that one up. Got a running start.
What I love about Savea Frobel is, like, that's just her, right? Like, I've seen her get excited once. She's just like, yeah, I just ripped that ball like 75 miles an hour out of the back row. It's fine. Just like so nonchalant, really even keeled. I love that they can rely on that emotional game from her as a leader on the court.
So Falcons starting to right the ship. A free ball. Caitlyn Thompson absolutely destroys it. 14-9. Falcons shaking off those early cobwebs. See if the Saints have an answer. DePaula, softly. Falcons, middle of the court again, another point.
And look how much just getting a good pass and spreading the offense changes the entire dynamic of the Falcons team. Coming from 2 players having kills, now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with kills in their column and their stat sheet. I mean, that's all balance. Oh, free ball kill.
You had Thompson and you had Carrillo, and neither player was really sure who was going to go for it.
So give a free ball kill to Emily Luce. Congratulations on that. Hitting 1,000.
Caitlin Kelso, the freshman out of Homosassa. Daytona State, they are on attack mode right now. Caitlin Thompson all of a sudden has turned it up.
And great one-handed set from Zarazal. That ball was tight to the net. She's back row, cannot cross the plane of the net, make a dump. She just kind of almost tips it back to her team, and then Caitlin Thompson's there to make the big swing.
16-10, set number 2. That one's down. The block party arrives for Daytona State.
And that ball just came out of Luce's hands a little bit too low. You have Caitlyn Croft ready to take that swing, just not good hand contact on the set.
Timeout once again, and Daytona State is rolling. This is Falcons volleyball at its purest form right now. And Coach Turonis wondering, okay, what adjustments can we make? His team came out red hot. They had Daytona State on the ropes in that first set, but now the momentum has shifted. And tell you what, Aaron, sometimes it's all about in-game adjustments, and right now the Falcons have made them.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they're finally executing that game plan of serving tough. Really, the biggest change, I think, is really zeroing in on that defensive or that blocking scheme. So far, there really hasn't been just any open kills from the Saints because the block is doing a better job of reading. They're blocking ball. They have 2 players on each attack. So there's a lot of slowing down of the offense from the Saints that the Falcons have done in this set.
Exciting match here thus far. And such a fun time to be on campus here at Daytona State. We had soccer matches on the men's and women's side last week. Ted Sofianos joining us in the booth. Volleyball tonight. We got men's soccer coming up later this month, and the fall, so much fun. And last week was homecoming week as well. 18-10. And ball into the net, and Aaron, it's gonna really be cool as that dormitory on campus is coming very soon here at Daytona State. Rarely do you have that at an institution like this. That's gonna add a totally new dimension.
Well, who doesn't want to come to Florida for school? That's what got me here. What are you talking about? No, it's great. And this everything, all of the facilities on this campus are incredible.
Svobold. Frobel's gonna get a second shot at it. Saw an opening. DePaula, though, is there. Danielson.
And great setting choice by Zarazell. I love that the connection between Zarazell and Jordan Danielson has really evolved over the course of the season. That confidence, that reliability, and set location allows a big lefty, a powerful lefty, to go up and take that swing with confidence.
I really got high reach when she elevates. Sydney Eubanks in for Santa Fe. And Simone Jackson, who's been effective serving, puts it up again for the Falcons. Here's the slide, and it's run to perfection. Caitlyn Croft's the kill.
And what Crofts does really well is she tracks the ball and times it well with her footwork. That's why she's such a good attacker. Only 4 kills, but has a lot of production on offense. And it's because she does such a good job of seeing where that ball is and making good adjustments with her feet.
Emily Luce now. So the weapons for Santa Fe have been a bit neutralized here in set 2. See if they can get them going here, at least to carry into set 3. DePaula and Danielson, and she's had the hot hand. That is her spot.
4 kills total, third of this set. So really, again, that connection that those two have, Zarazell and Danielson, and they've just, being pulled over by Laura Booker Anderson right now as they come on the timeout, but their chemistry so far has been unrivaled in this match.
Danielson going out. That's a good shift she just put in. Zarazell with her, as did Chavarria Munoz, the freshman out of Spain. Such great international representation for Daytona State year after year. Frobel tries to tip it over, handled though by Luce. And too many touches that time. Aaron, when you're watching from up close, like right now, do you ever just want to say, you know what, put down the headset and go out there and try and compete? Do you miss the sport that much?
I do. I really do. I unfortunately have some pretty bad knees, and it makes it sad, but it's still, because I get to do this, I still get to be involved with the sport. But yeah, I really want to get out there and play.
Of course, you played it at such a high level and for so long. Do you ever have dreams at
all the
night
time?
that you're
All the time.
Wow.
And I like now, and I'm like, oh, I don't have the right equipment. I have those dreams all the time. More like nightmares, where you show up with the wrong. It's like when you show up and the day of school and there's a test that you haven't studied for or something. It's the exact same feeling.
Wrong uniform,
Yeah.
whatever it is. 22-13, make it 23-13. Great memories this game provides all of these young ladies as Svea Frobel heads back to serve it up for the Falcons. What a season she has had. Only a front row player last year. Tonight she's doing it all. A little off balance that time, but the adjustment made by Elizabeth Klein.
Normally a midder. What I love about the Saints is they have all of these players that are just like, you put them in any system or any place and they can play any position, and we just saw that being executed by Elizabeth Klein. Typically a middle blocker, really no option, has to take on swing on the outside against a really good middle blocker, and Sarah Stratton beats her inside.
Santa Fe going to try and extend this second set much as possible. That's going to be a point for the Saints as the miss hit by Stratton.
just out of bounds for the Saints. Certainly not something you want to give up after this when you're trying to fight back and score points, especially when you have set point on the line now. All you need is an ace. If you're the Saints, you want a first ball kill, keep this match going a little farther. Good dig by Frobel.
Svea Frobel, no one there to watch that ball come down. And Daytona State 25-15. Much different story, led by Svea Frobel, getting it done for head coach Laura Booker Anderson and the Falcons. We are all even at a set apiece. Good volleyball match on this Thursday night in Daytona Beach. And now a special word from the spectacular nursing program here on campus.
College is expanding nursing and healthcare programs with additional classes at the Daytona campus. With new state-of-the-art learning facilities, students will be able to finish all requirements for the Nursing Associate's degree, which can be completed in 2 years, then transition easily into the online bachelor degree for increased earning potential. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
Welcome back here to Daytona State College. It's the Falcons and the Saints here on WDSC TV. You can accelerate your education by taking advantage of the incredible opportunities offered through Halifax Health partnership with Daytona State College. If you want a rewarding career in healthcare, find out how we can help at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. A tremendous match we have seen thus far. Santa Fe really had their way in set number one, but Daytona State, the beast was awakened in set number two as the Falcons come roaring back, led by Svea Frobel. And also the cast of characters, Caitlyn Thompson playing tremendous volleyball in that second set, Alina Carrillo as well. Coach Booker Anderson took a couple timeouts in that first set, really stressed to her team, come on ladies, let's get this thing rolling. We know what we can do. Let's execute. And Frobel right there, the sophomore out of Germany, came a long way to this campus to perfect her volleyball game. Will it be the national team in the future of this young lady? Will she play big-time Division I volleyball? Svea Frobel certainly one to follow and one to watch. And it's the great thing about coming to Daytona State. You fine-tune your game here at this next level, and then, Aaron, the world of possibilities opens.
Yeah, absolutely. And considering the different recruiting implications that COVID has put on coaches, the junior college system is the pool for coaches to make decisions because they don't get to see as much volleyball. They're going to rely on more peer-to-peer relationships with junior college coaches to make those decisions and help them build their roster of players. So more now than ever, the junior college system has helped higher D2 NCAA kind of programs develop their roster and find these really good players, these hidden gems of players that I would consider hidden gems.
You want a picture of a player that has just elevated her game thanks to the system here at Daytona State. It's Svea Frobel, number 15.
And really, Victoria Zarazel, came in to this season after their main setter, Jenna Zimmerman, went down. And she has earned her own spot on this court because of how much she's worked, the connection and chemistry she's made. So you find that there's even little nuances inside of each roster that help these players kind of find their role, find that chemistry that they need to stay on the court. And Zarazel has done an amazing job of finding that.
Ready for set number 3. Sydney Eubanks, freshman out of Blountstown. Also spent a little time at Chipola College. She has got the ace. Tell you what, she's a weapon coming off that bench.
And that's a perfect spot. You have 3 players trying to transition and get to their point or where they start their approach on their attack in that one spot. So really, really smart play for that serve. Good get by Carrillo.
Danielson the tap. Blind tried to keep it alive, but eventually drops for the Falcons. All right, Aaron, put your coaching hat on. First for Daytona State. What do you take from here the rest of the match?
Knowing how effective you can be when you have multiple options, you have to settle in on serve receive. You have to allow your setters to run multiple options on offense and keep it as spread as you did in that second set.
Tapped down by Danielson, and Daytona State with their lead here in set number 2. Other side, Santa Fe. Great first set, second set, not totally your game. Take one more look at the play. If you're the Saints, how do you hang with Daytona that's got a few more weapons than you do?
You're going to want to put those sets in zones that aren't just 4-1-C or 4-1-5 or, outside middle right side. You want to put them in between, in those slices of the court. Make that block move. Both players move all the time because we've seen that the blocking system for Daytona has helped this team get set up effectively.
That ball came off the basketball goal, and Daytona State found a way to keep it alive. If the Falcons can get a point here, this place will explode. Frobel had a good shot at it. DePaula able to have the final say. Nicole DePaula scores for the Saints, but a great effort by the Falcons.
And I have a feeling that this third match or this third set is going to be like neck and neck to 25.
Can just sense that out of both teams here as Kelso puts it in the air. Danielson again. This ball is not going to come back.
And if you're the Saints, you have to be a little bit more settled on the block because you were blocking before the ball was really set or attacked. So you didn't recognize that where Danielson was off the net, she really only had the one shot cross court. So you have to be a little bit more patient in that blocking scheme to let the set or the ball dictate where you're going to block the ball.
Did Chavarria Munoz with was about to say ace, not so fast. DePaula able to put it back. We have had some crazy ricochets so far in this match. Both teams really getting after it. Oh, a quickie. Heads up play by Jenna Zimmerman.
And Chironis laughing with the down official, calling, telling everybody that she's going slide. Zimmerman makes the read, dumps over on 2.
First time we've seen one of those out of the Falcons. Now DePaula up against the block. And the block wins.
Yeah, and Sarah Stratton, she's going to VCU because of the discipline that she has developed in her blocking system. She's so patient, really disciplined with those hands, and forces good players to make bad decisions. That wasn't a total rooftop, but it was still an unplayable ball.
Serving right at DePaula right now. Goes softly with it. Munoz able to keep it alive. Frobel can't track this one down. Simone Jackson, a good effort over there, but Santa Fe able to get the point.
And Frobel thinking she has the height advantage, which she does over Abby James. But you have to go over the block to make that play. It's almost like you want to create backspin on that tip, so the ball goes over, but it stops and drops right behind the blocker.
There's Amelia McCallum serving for Santa Fe. Jackson, and that run perfectly. That's what you talk about, serve receive. Sarah Stratton.
Yeah, you don't want to really leave Sarah Stratton without a block in front of her because, yeah, she's pretty good. She's pretty good. So good play call by Zimmerman. Block, totally dives with Frobel. Loses track of Stratton completely. Easy kill.
Falcons rolling.
Great spot.
Kept alive by Kelso. And again, the offense just not quite as crisp right now for Santa Fe. Daytona State, they sense it.
And doing all the work back there is Caitlyn Kelso, just scrambling all over the floor, but sometimes she's getting caught because she's scrambling too much. She's just got to get back to that base, be really, really quiet and composed, and then make the read as the set's happening, but a little bit too much of the scramble on defense.
Yeah, it's amazing how volleyball is such a rhythm game, and right now the Falcons, with Coach Laura Booker Anderson, they're making some pretty good music.
Oh, absolutely. And what's been really incredible is we've seen the evolution of their offense throughout this match. Just so many different players now seeing balls. We really haven't called Carrillo's name at all in this third set.
Coach Laura Booker Anderson played at NAIA Indiana Tech, 2005 to 2008. Husband Josh, again, very eager for that third child, coming practically any day. Only 9 players to work with, though, last season. I remember covering this program back. Remember at the beginning of the year, right in the middle of all the COVID protocols, she was, young head coach, her first real head coaching job after spending 6 seasons as an assistant. Tough spot for her to be in, but man, she looks like she has got everything under control right now.
Absolutely, and I think because she's been part of the program for this amount of time, she really understands kind of what that makeup is, what that chemistry is, but she's also been able to make it her own a lot. Like, we're seeing a little bit of a different just chemistry and team makeup than we had seen in the past, and it seems to be just a little bit more fun or looser, where she's really allowing the freedom of volleyball IQ to come across rather than kind of be into a system. Both are great options. We're just seeing a little bit of the change in that.
She made a point. She said, I don't want our program to be all about X's and O's. I want the ladies to have fun when we're not playing volleyball, enjoy the process.
And it certainly translates to the court.
DePaula comes out swinging out of the timeout, and Santa Fe going to get a point here. I think it's critical for the Saints to stay close here in this set, too, because if they concede another set here, it's going to be really tough to come back here on the road.
And we knew set 2, they were 8-8, 9-9, and then it was that, 10-point position where the team broke away. They just need to keep that level of intensity throughout the whole set.
Ball barely made over the net on the serve. Simone Jackson from the back row, and now Carrillo flying through. Oh, that's a nice block. Caitlyn Croft's one of her best points of the match.
Absolutely, and Carrillo really hasn't been shut down at all through a block. First block really against her.
Back row, it's Frobel.
Great dig location.
3 straight points now for the Saints, trying to get back into this match.
And that's the spot that's really susceptible when you pull that double block in. When you have Frobel come in and make that contact right over her, you have the libero who has to make 2 or 3 different reads. Or sorry, Carrillo, excuse me. You have Simone Jackson that has to make a lot of reads behind her. That spot is just super vulnerable.
Oh, legal hit that time. Make it 4 in a row, and we're tied at 7.
Yeah. Frobel doesn't think that, but it absolutely, absolutely has no momentum, falling backward. Ball comes out of the hand sloppy. That's certainly a double contact.
Sarah Stratton shaking her head. DePaula on a roll right now, and she hits it long. So here comes Caitlin Thompson, and here comes Riley Wyatt off the bench. Daytona State getting ready for the postseason. This team looks like they're going to be able to really do some damage in those playoffs. Tapped over by Zimmerman. Jenna Zimmerman, a difference at the net.
And it really is a good defensive play, good block at the net, but when you have a setter in the front row who knows how to read the defense and read what's happening on the defense, she can make those easy kills and get an easy point for her team.
Right side now. Caitlyn Croft's got a little tap on it. Carrillo goes down the line. Yep. Crofts again. How about the defense? Just out.
But really, another thing we've seen from the Falcons is that they've really leveled up their defense. A lot of scrambling, not letting the ball touch the floor without any kind of contact. Playing good defense.
Thompson with a kill. Interesting point that I noticed about Santa Fe's roster. They do not have any international players. Daytona State routinely has several of them. So that can work to your benefit. Sometimes can work against you a little bit because those international players, a lot of times, are so seasoned, Aaron.
Absolutely.
Carrillo puts it down.
What Carrillo does so well is that she is able to like hit over the block, see the seams in the block because she's so springy. She's got this really, really long loaded arm swing. It's why she's so effective. I have her at 8 kills so far unofficially.
This one a little bit long as well. So those kills and that ball placement not quite as crisp as it was for Santa Fe in that first set.
Yeah, and Callie Connor, who we saw be really effective in every swing that she took, has kind of errored herself out of the match a little bit. Just has to kind of zero back in, find the seam, find the swing that she wants. Oh, great spot.
Nicely done. Melanie Oglesby, the freshman out of Wakulla. As now Melanie heads back to serve for the Saints. Set number 3, Drew Felios, Aaron Campbell. Tied at 1 here at the Lemoran Center in Daytona Beach. Crofts again, and that one is going to fall. Callie Connor, number 9, who's had her challenges. Aaron, like you said, sometimes a little second guessing, but starting to find her groove.
Yeah, got back into that kill column with a much needed point. Good slow down at the net.
Lefty comes up, takes a swing. Abby James, first time we've called her name. Number 6, she'll get another opportunity here. And Santa Fe refusing to go away. I'll tell you what, you got to give it to the visitors. They have shown some fight. And there you take a look at James getting in on the party. Youngster out of Buchholz High School.
Just a really nice spot, right in middle, only has one blocker. Oh, big block. So Abby James, the Abby James transition or adding her into the match has been kind of an X factor for Santa Fe. Forces her opponents to take a timeout.
Though perhaps Nick Turonis has found something. Sometimes that's all it takes. Put in one player, it just starts to gel, and just like that, Santa Fe all tied at 12. Boy, I'll tell you what. I thought when we walked into the gym tonight, Aaron, okay, this is likely going to be another shutout game, 3-0 in favor of Daytona State, but the Saints have really come to play.
Absolutely, and they've really executed their game plan. Yeah, we didn't see that happen so much in the second set, but we have seen them kind of rally back around. They've been able to create some good offensive options. They've been really scrappy on defense, which we knew was kind of their volleyball identity. But this is the set that they need to come back and swing in. This is the one that they need to come back and fight with, and right now tied at 12.
Well, Halifax Health is looking for its next healthcare superstar. You can find out how to become one at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. Halifax Health, Daytona State College, such a great partnership over the years, and so many incredible opportunities on campus here at Daytona State. I mean, how cool is it to have your matches televised like this? Have the superstar Aaron Campbell break it down.
Listen, I'm just here to support you, man. I mean, Drew Felios is a local celebrity. We have people coming down here taking pictures, asking for autographs of this guy over here.
Hey, I try and fight him off, you know. I do my best. I do my best. No, really, the students that we have here on the cameras, first-class crew as always here on campus. And Carrillo with the touch.
I don't come to Daytona a lot, but I come for Daytona State volleyball.
Oh, absolutely.
Good rally, both playing good defense. Oh, yeah, that's a little bit of a double, but that's okay.
Let him play. Kept alive by Kelso, one of the longest points of the match here. Carrillo, there you go.
If you need a kill, you give it to Carrillo. Absolutely, just so on fire. great offense, just has such a good awareness of what the defense is doing and is able to put the ball where they're not. That's why she has such good kill percentages, is because she's not just swinging away. She's really looking with intention.
Oh, beauty that time. And Callie Connor once again dials it up for the Saints. You are right, Abby James really making an impact on that front line right now. Connor to serve.
Oh, great tip. Heads up play by Caitlyn Thompson.
I'll tell you what, the momentum so far in this match, I mean, it felt like Daytona State was about to kind of take over and get this thing to that fourth set, leading 2-1, and then all of a sudden, Santa Fe comes roaring back.
Just one of those teams that you know is gonna always fight. They're just one of those teams that's gonna challenge you, push you, find your weaknesses, and force you to respond to that. Great kill by DePaula. If they really want to get back into this, they certainly want to get her activated more and get her more than her 7 kills. Have her generate some points on offense.
Anytime you play a team with nothing to lose, sometimes it can be a challenge. Just putting it all out there tonight are the Saints. Nicely done. Frobel off the deflection. The Chavadia Munoz comes in and she'll head back to serve it. We're tied at 15. Hang on, this is going to be fun. A little bit long. As the Chavadia Munoz looks over at her head coach, that's, you know, that's a big point. When that goes awry, Aaron, it's definitely tries your patience.
Oh, absolutely. Missed serves give coaches gray hairs.
Diving towards us, Zimmerman. Saints can take a 2-point lead here. Falcons able to elevate on the block. DePaula. Here's Frobel. Neither team letting it drop. DePaula again. Oh, a little wide.
Ooh. The right idea, though. My goodness. You're like, oh, that's just an inch outside, but gosh, so smart. It's the ball control. The biggest difference between an underclassman and overclassman is just their relationship with the ball and what a touch does. So that play again, that will never happen again. There's going to be that relationship against that ball, but huge block by Sarah Stratton.
Oh, Stratton is injured as her finger maybe dislocated here. She immediately showed her coach, Laura Booker Anderson, not for the squeamish there. And hopefully that finger is going to be okay. She took the brunt of that kill and was still able to win the point.
She's like, just pop it back in. Like, that is like the toughest kid I've ever seen in my life. She's like, yeah, just pop it back in. I'm fine. Just pop it in and tape it up. I don't care.
DePaula right back. All tied at 17, and we're going to see Sandra Chiampong, the freshman out of Sweden for Daytona State. And again, there you see Stratton being tended to.
We don't need to see that. It's done now, thank God. Over and done. Quick and easy, short and sweet. Just tape that bad boy back up.
Right in the corner, DePaula able to get the ace serve, and it's 18-17 Santa Fe clinging to the lead. Who is going to take this third set? So important here in this match. That one's long.
And really, I know that you have a young team, you have a young player in DePaula, but you know, more errors than ins for her. So really want to make sure she gets focused back on there. Maybe go more zone than power for her. Just get that confidence back behind the service line.
Caitlyn Thompson checks back in. Coach Chironis, he wants this one badly, trying to keep his cool over there on the visitor side. That one's not coming back. And the Falcons have a 1-point lead. I'll tell you what, Aaron, I am on the edge of my seat here. This is really, really exciting stuff.
I mean, you kind of thought that Daytona State was going to come into this set and just sweep it away, right? Because of what we saw, the score differential in the second set. But so far, this set has been very, very close.
Daytona State's biggest wins, and the big win over Miami-Dade at the beginning of the season, then Monroe College in late August. And they really gave it back to HCC this past Tuesday. Remember, the Hawks swept Daytona State on this court. That was immediately after Jenna Zimmerman suffered that injury. So it was good that Daytona State was able to get them back earlier this week. But they are in a battle here tonight, tied at 19, third set.
Oh, good serve.
Once again, Zimmerman comes into our table and still a point earned by Frobel. Boy, Zimmerman's been flying at us all night long.
If she wants to hang out, we can hang out, you know? But just
Watch
a great
that.
get. Good swing by Frobel out of the, you know, kind of in that two-seam, easy kill. Great transition point.
Timeout on the court. 20-19. Falcons trying to separate against a very pesky Santa Fe team here in set number 3. Drew Felios with Aaron Campbell. The Saints of Santa Fe, team that has lost their last 10 matches, coming in here and hanging in with a very, very good Daytona State Falcons program.
I just think the future is so bright for the Saints because they have such a young team. They're kind of going to develop that chemistry together. You're not putting pieces and parts together as, you know, you get more sophomores, you get freshmen, you have that transition. They're going to evolve together, and this team, this core group, is going to benefit from that. They're going to be a really big powerhouse to reckon with. They have the pieces and parts to make that work. And so far, we've seen their defense really lead the charge. And keep in mind that that's kind of Coach's his ideology. He wants to be a good defensive team because defense wins championships. So
slow start for Daytona State, but they have righted the ship. Still getting everything Santa Fe has got in this third set. And now it's a race to 25. Winner of the third set usually goes on to take the match.
Oh, great get by Zarazal.
Kept alive by Jackson. Danielson has a swing. Frobel on the deck. That's Carrillo.
And that makes double-digit kills for Carrillo, number 10. Beautiful swing into that seam. Blocking ball, good read by the libero, but just a little bit too late in that seam. Too much court for Carrillo to swing.
21-19. Falcons now in the driver's seat. Can they stay there?
Great swing.
Carrillo, Frobel from the back row. Good job by DePaula keeping it alive. Now left side. Saracel with Jackson. Frobel again. Seeing some defense at its premium here tonight. And that's well done by Callie Connor.
And we know that she has that tendency to want to swing line. We haven't seen her unload yet because she really hasn't had the swing, but everything works mechanically for her to swing efficiently down the line. Gets her first kill there.
Melanie Oglesby to put it in the air for the Saints. Carrillo again. Boy, she just absolutely hammering it right now. The way she flies through the air, too, is so impressive.
Well, and it's the arm swing, too. So not only does she have the athleticism to go up there and leap at the ball, she just has this, like, really, really technical arm swing. She whips that puppy around, gets a lot of power. Really fun to watch.
2-point game. Attack that right side.
dig.
Carrillo defensively makes the play, and Frobel finishes it off. So Carrillo offensively, then defensively, and then Frobel. What a connection.
Unbelievable. Just great heads-up play by Frobel. That ball came out of Carrillo's hands. That was a heavy, heavy swing from Abby James. I mean, it unloaded on that ball. Excuse me, that was Callie Connor. But heads-up play by Frobel to just put the ball away. That's what they need. They need those execution points. Great swing.
Yeah, there's James. She has been a difference maker since being inserted into the match.
And kind of has the same type of athleticism that you see from Carrillo. Doesn't look like the most physical player on the court, but man, super athletic. Got up there in the air, beat a very big block over Danielson, hit the high hands, easy kill.
Carrillo. And now Jackson, they'll put it over. Santa Fe's gonna get a good swing here. Right side, it's James, and she right now has the magic touch. Abby James. Well, I guarantee you she's gonna be getting some more playing time in the future.
Absolutely. I love that she's come in and just been kind of the change. She's been the X factor for the Santa Fe Saints, and I think they've found something of surprise in her.
That's a heartbreaker for
Kills
Santa
ya.
Fe. That's a huge one, Aaron, because it makes
really
it
is.
set point now for the Falcons.
But if you're the Saints, all you have to do is first ball kill, then play good defense, right? So if you get that first ball kill, you get out of this, you get to serve. Good serving rotation for your team. You still have Abby James in the front row, so it's all about getting that first ball kill.
Simone Jackson trying to finish it off here in set number 3. There's James again. The block is there. Daytona State. 2-1 up over Santa Fe. They hit the gas pedal in the final 5 points. It wasn't easy, but they find a way to get it done.
Absolutely, and I think what was really impressive for Daytona State was their ability to rally back.
25-22, 2-1. What a night here in the Lemarant Center. It continues with a lot more from Daytona Beach when we come back. Daytona State College on a Thursday night honoring the sophomores tonight here on campus. You see the wall decorated on the Daytona State side. Simone Jackson, Jenna Zimmerman, Caitlin Thompson, Sarah Stratton, Victoria Saracel, and Savea Frobel putting in the time here on campus. And after this match, a special ceremony for all of them. Aaron, you know how senior night felt when you were at UCF. These ladies will have their moment knowing that they played volleyball here during one of the most difficult times to contribute in athletics across the country.
Absolutely, and I think these girls are stronger together because of that. I think the relationships they're going to take away from this season are unrivaled, but it really, if you're Laura Booker Anderson, this is a core group. You know, how do you fill the spots, the voids of these really 6 impact players that have done so much for your team? And it's obviously about recruiting, but you know, you can't say enough about those 6 girls. They've done an amazing job and lead the charge both offensively and defensively.
Well, that has got to be something too. And talk about recruiting, especially with Coach Booker Anderson, the only coach right now on her staff. How much pressure that must come with these kids, you know, getting into the lives of these young high school kids and saying, hey, trying to sell your program to the parents as well. So much to offer here on campus, and what a product here the Falcons put on the court year after year.
Yeah, and the academic side of it too. You know, there's so many implications that people are deciding between or deciding on as they go into the next level from high school to any kind of collegiate program. And so the variety of program is really impressive as well.
You look at number 9, Alina Carrillo right there, one of the biggest recruiting gets ever in the history of this program. Coach Booker Anderson did not expect her to pick Daytona State. When she did, she about dropped the phone. She couldn't believe it.
Well, I think the thing about Carrillo specifically is, yeah, she's a great player, but she doesn't give off that physicality that a lot of players do. And so what I think is really important for her is for her to have such a really good junior college experience. That's going to open up the opportunities for her to play at the next level. And I think for her, that really is the best decision she could have made, because she's coming in, having a huge impact, and she's going to be able to carry a lot of the experience she has to the next level.
Just see why, too. Her teammates absolutely love her. Just mild-mannered, always smiling, loves to play the game, always there for her team. Total package. Set number 4. Let's do this. Falcons up 2-1. It's been a fun night here thus far on the East Coast. Carrillo.
12th kill for Carrillo, and really, where we've seen her shine is later on in the matches. It's not like she gets more fatigued. She actually gets better and more refined as the match goes on, so she's going to be super lethal in this 4th set.
A serve, so a good way to start for the home side.
Almost every set in this match has started with an ace. That's the second play, but the first, second, and third sets all started with an ace.
Victoria Saracel out of Orlando, Dr. Phillips' product. Goes by the nickname Vic. Runs that 5-1 offense to perfection. Here's James.
Oh, great get by Jackson.
Dug out by Simone Jackson, and there's Frobel, and everything right now starting to go the Falcons' way.
Yeah, when you have good defensive plays, your team rallies around a play like that. When you have a libero layout, you want to do everything you can to reward that player with a kill. Plus, it just looks good. Great get by Jackson. Carrillo sets it up, almost perfect location for Frobel to come in and make the play. Second assist for Carrillo.
Here's James. Oh, what a player. So impressed by Abby James, the 5'9" freshman out of Gainesville.
She's one of those players that like jumps really quietly. Like you don't hear her. She's not loud. She's really composed, kind of like a ballerina would be, right? They make very quiet movements. They have quiet feet. She embodies that on the court.
Right back Danielson. Kept alive by Connor. She asked for it. Frobel. Danielson. And Connor able to dial it up once more. Callie Connor, the freshman from Tifton. So a couple points back to Santa Fe, trying to stay close here in this 4th set. Caitlin Kelso wearing that white jersey tonight out of Homosassa. Carrillo again. That time run right against the block. Connor was in position perfectly with Crofts.
And only the second time we've seen get blocked, but that's just a good matchup. You have Callie Connor, very tall outside hitter. She's 6 foot. Then you have your middle blocker, Caitlyn Crofts at 6'1". That's just a big block to beat through. Oh, great set.
Back-to-back swings by Carrillo, softly that time. And a good dig by Connor. Carrillo again. Kelso the dig. There's James once more. Danielson, Saracel, and Carrillo again. Is this long? No, it's going to be a point for Daytona.
And the poor line judge couldn't see. Great call, though, to tell the up official. Up official did see that ball go in, so point to Daytona State.
Yeah, that was really close there, Aaron. Eubanks backing up, and now James. James hitting downhill.
I mean, 5 kills from James, but not even just the kill efficiency and the kill production. It's the chemistry, this kind of just eagerness that she's brought to the court completely changed this team into the third set and so far in the 4th.
What a lift she has provided. Danielson.
Oh, great dig.
Yeah, Connor right now doing it defensively. Back row Carrillo. Carrillo getting a lot of opportunities, perhaps too many.
Get up.
And that's why.
The ball goes out. But, I mean, like, the awareness that the Saints have shown. That ball, there's 5 people scrambling. Then you see Callie Connor try to dive her way through, make the block, forces that ball go out of bounds. You see the makings of something really, really powerful. Yeah, then you cap it with that. That's where that immaturity comes in. You have a really big play, a play that goes in your favor. You serve the ball out of bounds.
Okay, Sarah Stratton, number 4, back in now for Daytona State. Remember, she left the game in that last set, and her finger was not looking so good.
It didn't look like it was located where it needed to be located.
And now that finger, look, she has got it banded up, that left hand. You see the tape on it right now for Sarah Stratton. Tape me up and get me back in this game.
I mean, she's like the toughest kid I've ever seen in my life. It's like hockey players, right? Lose some teeth, put me in, coach.
How do the Falcons keep that one alive? That's going to be a net violation on Daytona State.
We talk about Carrillo's offensive production, but my goodness, the touches she's been able to make out of that middle back position have been phenomenal. Great read down the line. Unfortunately, Danielson in the net on that play, but just so much to her game, so many things you don't see or don't recognize in the backcourt that she brings to this team. Oh, that's ugly.
Tapped over, and now Frobel tries to go for that line and scores for the Falcons. So, Aaron, you mentioned Carrillo. Where do you think Alina Carrillo, number 9 in white, factors in at the next level? Probably a good mid-major, be a superstar maybe in a conference like that, like the MAC or the Sun Belt?
Yeah, I'm even thinking, I don't think people bring enough attention to like Division II programs, like University of Tampa, that has a huge impact. Rollins College, who's had a reputation of being successful. You can have a lot of impact on those Division II schools, still getting the same kind of academic focus that you would at a junior college with leveling up that game. I think she'd be a good fit. I think the thing that's to her disadvantage is obviously her height. As an outside hitter, you've got to be at least 5'9", 6 foot, unfortunately, to go to kind of inside of that. But really, who knows? Because she has a whole other year to develop the game, to be more physical. So, I would think that the door is wide open.
Open space right there, and a beautiful opportunity taken advantage of by the Falcons. And of course, I'm no volleyball scout, but I just see things in Carrillo for a player that size you don't normally see. The ability to just kind of get up effortlessly and quietly and then just emphatically finish points.
Yeah, and I think what she brings in the backcourt too, you don't want to shine away from that. She may have more of a defensive career as well.
Sure.
So it just depends on what coaches are looking for when they're in that specific recruiting class.
Probably play some beach volleyball too if she wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Stetson up the road. Obviously, we've seen that pipeline from Daytona State to Stetson for the beach program. So there are a lot of options out there for anyone wanting to play volleyball.
Up against the net for Frobel. So Santa Fe will get the serve back here. Trailing by 1. Coach Booker Anderson hoping to wrap this one up and start the party for her sophomores here on their home court. Honored immediately following this game. And there's Carrillo again. She'll hit right through everything. More changes coming for the Falcons. Riley Wyatt checks in. Take a look at Carrillo. Her alongside Caitlin Thompson. Thompson brings so much emotion on the court. Joust. Neutralized that time, and it'll be a point for the Falcons.
It's going to be a back row block, back row attack. Even though the ball didn't cross the plane of the net, the second contact was then a block. So the ball did cross the plane of the net. So setter goes up, tries to save it, but the next contact is not from, it is from the Santa Fe side. So technically, that should be, if the ball didn't cross the plane of the net, that should still be the point for Santa Fe. Now, it's hard to see from that angle because it does look like that it could be in the middle. But, we have a skewed version of that. The up official obviously has the best eye for that.
Carrillo teeing off.
Carrillo.
Number 14 for Carrillo.
She is racking them up right now. Jenna Zimmerman next to her. Thompson getting everybody in position. Riley Wyatt serving for Daytona State. It has been an up and down game. It's been like a roller coaster. Momentum back and forth throughout the night. A little wet spot on the court. Players will take care of that. A little separation here for the Falcons, but certainly cannot rest. This Santa Fe team has been clipping at their heels all night long. Carrillo keeps it alive. Frobel puts it over. Right side, here's James. Got to get her right back into the swing of things.
And right off the hands at the outside. That's just so much volleyball awareness, seeing where you are at the net, seeing the defensive sound. Go off the hands. Easiest kill in volleyball, and it's just a great read.
Abby James, 5'9". Bring that lefty in, really a change of pace. Makes that defense work as DePaula now heads out. Sydney Eubanks will take her place and head back to serve. DePaula really effective sets 1 and 2, but a little bit quiet as of late offensively. Carrillo, meanwhile, getting louder and louder.
Make that 15 kills for the freshman outside hitter. Over the block, just really has any shot she wants right now. And it's a player like that where, as a defensive system, you just let her get her kills. That one player isn't going to beat you. You obviously still want to play good defense and block her well, but then it comes down to zeroing in, slowing down everybody else, because you know that one player can't beat you.
James once more. Kept alive by Thompson. Back row, Frobel. Ceiling will play some tricks with it. Santa Fe will keep their composure, though. Here's Carrillo again, waiting, avoids the net, and now James will get a swing. Danielson.
Great get by Connor.
Yeah, good recovery. And Frobel has the final say.
And 14 for Frobel. A lot of those have come from the back row. Her ability to swing heavy on the ball out of the back row is so profound. That's what a coach at the next level wants to see. They want to see the ability to be a 6-position player, and Savea Frobel certainly is that. Even on an offensive system, she's running that pipeline.
So a 5-point lead for the Falcons. Timeout on the court. Coach Chironis wants to talk it over. Coach Laura Booker Anderson, again, was a part of this program for 6 years as an assistant. Finally got her opportunity to take over the program. And they are on the right track. Coach Chironis, meanwhile, so much time at the University of Florida in Gainesville, had a chance to start a volleyball program at Santa Fe and said, I just could not turn the opportunity down.
Yeah, and I love that that's, we talk about recruiting pipelines and the ability to recruit good Florida players to a junior college system. And, when you have a player or a coach like Chironis who has such deep roots in volleyball, I think it's more about him wanting to continue with the sport of volleyball and give players opportunities, especially at the junior college level. It's really impactful that he's made that decision to go to a junior college and recognize that there's a gap or a need for it.
You mentioned Carrillo, and obviously, size is always going to be a challenge. How about strength and stuff like that, how high you can jump, all the tail of the tape stuff? Is it really factored in major Division I volleyball?
It has to be, because the sport is so vertical now.
Sure.
It's changed so much. They've added a new substitution. They've added another one. So, you can have an outside hitter who's not a 6-position player, and they can just come in and be a big banger on the outside. So that physicality is now a huge makeup or a huge part of the DNA, the nucleus of a Division I program. So when you look at that, there are more opportunities probably in the D2, D3 options, because they're getting the athletes, they're getting the players. There's still that 5'9" outside hitter that can do well and have a great career inside of those systems.
Yep. So many coaches put a lot of stock in that. Who jumps the highest, who
Yeah.
lifts the most weight. And here is Carrillo, who is just going off late in this match. Little short that time, and the Falcons score again, starting to pull away in this fourth, what could be a deciding final set. Caitlyn Thompson's really grown in that middle blocker spot. You mentioned Division II volleyball. She's going to be a great fit somewhere. Here she is again. Free ball to Paula there. Able to be on the receiving end, and James hits it a little wide.
First error I think we've seen from James. She's been so efficient.
Timeout on the court. Coach Chironis and Santa Fe, they are really hanging on by a thread here. And on the brink of Daytona State pulling away for the final time. And again, it's going to be emotional post-game here as the ladies will be set to be honored. Coach Laura Booker Anderson said, I didn't want to do the ceremony before the game because if I had done that and the ladies start crying, they get all emotional,
Yeah.
Aaron. You come out on the court and just like that, it's 15-2.
Right. Yeah, I think when my senior year, Todd did the same thing. Coach Todd Dagenais did the same thing where we didn't have it before, we had it after because of all the implications. And I remember we played at the University of Kansas my junior year, and my high school team had come out, and my friends from Kansas City had come over, and he was like, you aren't even allowed to look in the stands until after the match. I need you focused. And I was like, okay, fair enough. I will cry if I see people that I know in the stands. So, yeah, it's a good call, and there's so many emotions. I mean, I can't even imagine what having to play through this pandemic and all of that and go to classes and all of it. I mean, it's just so much pressure and so much stress. So it's nice that they'll be able to have that kind of release or that celebration of what they've been able to accomplish.
Yeah. So cool getting to share the moment, too, with these great athletes, giving their all for this program over the past few years. All right, Sarahsville serving it up, 17-9.
Oh, great get.
Defense, offense, everything right now working out for the home team. Frobel back row. Kept alive by Jackson. Sarahsville now to Danielson. Oh, ran into the post that time. Callie Connor, a collision. That was really, really tough for her. Just senses this match has gone along. Just Daytona State a little too much experience, a little too much firepower. Santa Fe trying to hang in, but they have just about run out of ammunition
Yeah.
here.
And really just trying to make things work, and it's just not there right now. But I think the tempo of Daytona State is just, it's catching the Saints on their heels a little bit too much, but that's exactly the game. That's the game plan, game script for the Falcons.
Danielson, another chance. 20-9. They are pulling away, and I'll tell you what, Frobel in the back row digging has been really something.
Both of these outsides as sixth position players have, you know, we know Frobel didn't play back row the last season. And what she's been able to do is own that middle back position. She's making the right reads. Middle back is so hard because you're making a read based on a guess because you have the block in front of you. You have to read where the seam of the block is. And it's just, you're hidden behind that blocking scheme. It's so tough to play defense.
Another point for the Falcons. Santa Fe out of system here. And Daytona State closing in on victory number 11 of the season. They have taken Santa Fe's best punches tonight, but they have been able to withstand it.
Oh, good swing.
Finally a point for the Saints. The gets side out here, trailing by 11. Nicole Everson in the game right now for Santa Fe. She was awarded that point. Kelso. Connor puts it over. Saracel. And Caitlyn Thompson flying high.
And if Daytona State can continue this kind of offensive production, if they can start the match with this level of play, this level of offense, they're just, what a team. They're going to be a tough team to beat.
Yep, that slow start, about the only thing
Yeah.
they got to overcome. Gonna start a little bit better. It's going to be a tough out in the postseason. There's Frobel again with those quick hands. Tap it over this time. Saracel there. Jackson digs it up. Frobel stays away from the net we play on. Everson. Frobel again.
15 kills for Frobel.
That's a tough 1-2 punch, Aaron. You got
Yeah.
Frobel, you got Carrillo. They get better as the match goes along. 2 points away now. Make it 1. Match point, Daytona State.
Oh, they're calling the touch. The point goes to Santa
yeah.
Fe.
Okay. Falcons cannot believe it, looking at each other. Let's take one more look.
It sounded like it, but sometimes when the ball comes out of the hands, and maybe they thought because of how Caitlyn Thompson kind of pressed that hand in, that maybe there was a touch. It certainly sounded like it.
Try a quick toss over. That's Saracel pulling the strings, and now it's match point. Sarah Stratton in again. What a night she's had. Simone Jackson serving for the match. This is wide. DePaula back in for Santa Fe. Callie Connor will serve. Santa Fe has put their best foot forward here tonight for sure, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Get the touch. No, they won't. Another point for the Saints. It's 24-13.
Broken hand and all, Sarah Stratton still hits the ball so heavy.
There it is for Sarah Stratton and Daytona State. 3-1. 25-13 in the final set as they take care of a very, very pesky Santa Fe volleyball program. There's the final line, Aaron, and it was the resilience of Daytona State and the talent eventually. Just too much for Santa Fe.
A lot of good offensive production for the Daytona State Falcons. We saw them be a little bit too one-dimensional in that first set, but really were able to rally, make more plays, spread that offense, get more people activated, and really the blocking scheme was a big part of their game plan to help them win.
Alina Carrillo, tremendous night for the Falcons, shining on WDSC TV. Halifax Health, always shining, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics, and they are the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Program. Special thanks, as always, to Halifax Health. Oh, what a night it was. And our next broadcast, men's soccer, October 27th, 7 p.m. Ted Sofianos will join us. Once again, Daytona State takes on Eastern Florida. Aaron, what more can you say? Two great teams going at it tonight. Santa Fe, I know, not much to show for in their win column throughout the season, but they have got a lot to build on. And Daytona State There's the social media handle. Follow on Twitter at DSC Falcon Sports and hashtag Go Falcons. Final thoughts here from Daytona.
You know, just that this Falcons team has something special and they can really carry it on to the national stage, and I have a feeling that they will.
Yeah, they certainly will. Fans now await the sophomores about to be honored here at Daytona State. And again, extra kudos to these ladies for battling through everything they have battled through this COVID time. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. It has been a pleasure and an honor. Our phenomenal crew at work bringing you the sights and sounds all night long. There you see some of the names of the great crew on hand here at Daytona State. For Aaron Campbell and that crew, I'm Drew Felios. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on the 27th with men's soccer. Until then, so long from Daytona Beach. Have a great night.